Shout out to my homie Joe. Another trip to DC. No dinner tonight at Rare, but one of these days we're gonna go up on that rooftop and we're gonna have a meal and it's gonna be great. But yeah, this is like sunburn weather. Beautiful day, a little cloudy, a little breezy, it's not hot. Heading over to the White House. Washington Monument in the background. I was out here last night, but at a certain point, Secret Service says, get out of here. It's too late, best to come and visit during the day. I've had some meetings in here. This is the White House Council of Environmental Quality, not too far from the White House itself. The permitting council was established through CEQ, but I'm not sure what's going on with that these days. This is the Eisenhower building. This is the White House Executive Office. When people say they go to the White House, this is usually where they're doing business. It's next to the White House. It's in the Executive Office building. This is where usually most of the staff are. It's a beautiful building, beautiful architecture. Nice place to have a meeting. Is that where the bowling alley is? I don't know. I remember at some point learning that there was a bowling alley in the White House, and I thought it was in that office building. So out here walking along the side of the White House, that's the Executive Office building over there. Well, I just wanted to be on the back side of the White House to show you something that I thought was a little interesting for my highway and survey friends. So on this side of the White House is the 0 starting point for the Lincoln Highway. So let me show you here. All right, so this is the 0 milestone, the survey monument. This is the starting point for the first transcontinental motor convoy, or the Lincoln Highway, and the point of measurement for distance. Just a little engineering survey nerd starting point of the Lincoln Highway. Around Old Ebbitt Grill. Here's the thing, happy hour for oysters starts around 11 p.m. Old Ebbitt's fantastic because when you get in late for your flight from the West Coast, it's like the only restaurant open down here, and it is packed. If you want to know where the real power is, it's next to the White House and the United States Treasury building. This building's, it could be more difficult to get into than the White House. Just kidding. Hotel Washington, great place, and pretty good rooftop bar. So we're here in the Navy Yard, which was, as you might imagine, a former Navy Yard. I think it all got revitalized in like the 1990s, something like that. And we're going over to the United States Department of Transportation headquarters, USDOT. So have meetings with OST, the Office of the Secretary of Transportation. In the business, these apartments are called Todd Pods. So, but you know, it's transit-oriented design because right across the building is the Navy Yard Transit Station. So it makes it easy to, you know, live here and walk around and get your transit and get your office, get all your amenities without being in a car. But sometimes you have stuff like that. Anyways, it's the joys of a city. We're heading over to the American Road and Transportation Building Association. I am currently president of the Transportation Officials Division. Relatively new for me. This is my first year doing it. It's been fun. There's a lot of talk about reauthorization of the federal transportation bill, but you know, it's been great to meet some of the people, meet some of the staff at ARTBA. We're here at the American Road and Transportation Builders Association. This year, I'm serving as president of the Transportation Officials Division. They got a great location right next to NASA, which is kind of cool. I'm a super sophisticated business traveler with my backpack. You know, this is a city you got to walk around in. Watch yourself here. Oh, all right, let's do it. Now, this is what we call a non-standard vertical clearance. 13 feet, 6 inches. That is not high enough. So what happens is any kind of tall truck can hit this heading over to Union Station, the center of rail transit in DC. We'll see how it looks. Last time I came here, there was a lot of tents. So what I was saying was that this is the least civil engineering thing I've ever done. Being on camera like this, it's all new to me, but it's part of the job now. I think there's a lot of value in being accessible and authentic to the public, to your audience, and providing behind the scenes look to what an organization is, how it's being led, and who the people are. You know, I think the guys that do this for a living could say it a lot better, but video marketing is really just giving the public an insight to how you're doing your business, why you're here, why it's important, and there's not a lot of engineering in that.